Are you ready? You think you can tell us what to do? You think you can tell us what to wear? You think that you're better? Well, you better get ready. Bow to the masters. Break the wall down! What you want, baby, you know that you is out your crease. Baby, what I got is love from the least. Bring it to the stage in the rage of the beast. Step in the arena and break the wall down. Step in the arena and break the wall
Yes, welcome into the most electrifying hour here at 216 Creator Studios. This is Let Me Tell You Something, brother. And if you didn't hear, this past week, our good friend Hulk Hogan shouted us out on the big stage. First words he said, let me tell you something, brother. Absolute big fan of the show. Tom, welcome in. Alex might be popping in, so let's see what happens.
I'm sending him the message right now. Bear with me. Apologize.
It happens, right? A lot of stuff going on since we've last met. You had some water in your garage, and we're looking at a new place as well for the next broadcast, right?
That's been happening since the last time we've been on. It's all the rain. It's like it seemed like every weekend.
Yeah,
every Saturday night and the Sunday, just rain.
That's it. It's been crazy. The river's high.
Yeah, with that, the back issues I've been having lately, it's just like I just couldn't do it.
Carrying the weight of the world, of course, and the 750 kilogram, deadlifts. That'll hurt your back.
No.
Alex, how are you, brother?
What's up?
Alex muted himself.
He muted himself.
I'm doing good.
Hey, man, good to see you. Good to see you. A lot of good stuff happening. All right, Tom, take it away. It's all yours.
Well, what do we want to start with? Money in the Bank results that we haven't.
Yeah, let's talk about Money in the Bank results.
What a waste of 2.75 hours that was.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts on that, Alex? Was that just a waste? The whole men's match just did not mean anything.
That's where you would respond, Alex.
Alex?
I was hearing an echo.
Sorry.
Oh, I hear it. Here, I'll see if I can take care of it on my side. Let's see.
And then a delay.
Yeah, delay. Oh, it's the 8-second delay with the FCC.
Yep, now we should be good.
Now try it.
I was very disappointed with Money in the Bank on all aspects of it.
Yeah, it just didn't live up to what a pay-per-view should.
Well, it's that, and it seems to me that I don't know if it's Triple H just taking a shot at Jericho because that was his conception, his idea, and it just seems like since Triple H has been in charge, like he has not cared at all about the men's side, at least.
Yeah,
I mean, it took Damian Priest forever to cash in last year. And other times, I mean, it's just been quick and you're done. Nothing to it.
Yeah, and there wasn't. You kind of knew how it was going to flow as well,
Right.
I mean, it just wasn't.
You knew the man at Shelby Nameless was going to somehow screw him over that night. I mean, if any time you should have screwed him, should have been during the actual Money in Bank, so you can at least have some excitement throughout the year now of, all right, maybe Jey Uso gets it, maybe Gable gets it. Are they going to cash in any week now? But it's like Drew told you exactly what he was going to do. He doesn't have the backup plan. It's like he's dumb for not knowing CM Punk's going to be there.
Right.
That's just like, and he's smarter than that. And just the whole storyline with that, it's like they don't need the belt. He doesn't need it. Their feud's on fire from the get-go. I mean, for me, that was just have him win it and then try to cash in and then lose it right away. It just made no sense.
Zero. But that's typical for what's happening with the pay-per-views. Something came across my stream. It was 1998, and it was Raw, and it was when Stone Cold beat the Undertaker for the title. And I'm like, where are these? This was flipping Raw, and it was a hell of a match, right? That was the one where Paul Bearer he stunned the Undertaker, had him at 2, and then Paul Bearer pulled Stone Cold out, and then he stunned him again. But I'm like, where was that? Why?
It's like when WWE had their biggest ratings is when Mick Foley won the belt on Raw.
Yeah, why can't we get back to that?
It's like,
Well, I mean, I like that they did and I got my audio figured out now. With the tag team titles getting changed on a weekly show was refreshing. But it just, I don't know. Money in the Bank was just so kind of lackluster to me. Like Tom, you said, you knew the WWE Venus was gonna interfere and kind of screw over Drew McIntyre again. I was happy though to see them not kind of do a long, drawn out cash in. It was kind of quick. I mean, I wasn't expecting the same night, but he kind of told you exactly what he was gonna do. So I was very kind of disappointed. I was kind of trying to fix my audio when you guys were talking about this. So that's why I'm just chiming in a little late. So
no worries.
We got to figure it out now.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, overall, the match was so-so. Wasn't like the years past. And the women's, too, it started out slow.
Try putting in earbuds.
Oh, I got it now. Because I had Facebook still going on in the background, so my speakers were playing Tom's audio delayed from Facebook plus the live from here. So,
Gotcha. I'm hearing it. I'm hearing an echo.
No, yeah, I get the echo now. All the fun stuff.
We'll figure it out.
But yeah, and that's where it's like the women's, like it started out slow and then start picking up, but you're seeing them too much now trying to set up their spots. Nothing seems natural flow, and it's like, okay, Chelsea and Tiffy set up the tables outside, and at some point someone's going through the table. Or maybe.
Yeah.
And usually whoever sets up the table, it seems to be the one that's taking the fall. It's been their like give and go to spoiler. It's like, oh, they're setting up the table. She's going through it.
Yeah.
But and everyone knew that Tiffy was going to win it.
Oh, definitely everyone knew that Tiffy was going to win it from when she even entered in. Is there echo now?
Nope, sound good.
And that's where I think is going to be like the next kind of Trish Stratus like star. Maneuver wise will probably be better. We'll see how she is on the mic as time goes on. I think that was probably Trish's weakness was on the mic.
I think they're still waiting for Charlotte to come back and see what she's going to be. I mean, you still have that kind of dynamic for now with Tiffy, Charlotte, Bianca, and then Jade. I mean, you kind of have 4 similar physique, similar kind of moves. I think Charlotte takes it a little bit better and Bianca would be my 1 and 2 in that. But I mean, they're all the same structure. They're all the kind of China 2.0, China 2.5.
Well, that's where you have pretty much Bianca, Charlotte, and Tiffy. Like they were collegiate athletes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what makes their athletic ability stand out more than some of the rest. Jade, right now, I think WWE's seeing she has the physical presence. She just does not have the ability still. And that's where AEW constantly was having issues how to book her because it's like she still is not getting the wrestling concept. It's almost like the female version of Goldberg.
Yeah. Well, they said the same thing about Nia Jax too. Like a lot of Nia Jax was stiff and a lot of
nuts.
Yeah, well, that for sure.
She's nepotism.
Gotta have it.
Yeah.
Brownie. Nope.
Hey.
Wrong show.
Oh yeah, wrong show. Sorry.
Let's see what else happened on Money in the Bank. Yeah. Who do we have? Well, Cody started it out, right? Against AJ.
Mm-hmm.
The opening match wasn't even main event.
Well, I mean, it's the main event of.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Money
That
in the
was
Bank.
that was the 3-man tag. That's right. It was a 6-man tag. My bad. But like to me, that should have started the night. That shouldn't have been the main event. Rollins and
Yeah.
Priest should have been the main event.
Yeah,
Actually,
I thought
title
that was probably one of the better matches. Was Rollins and Priest for the night. So
before the referee screwed up and
yeah,
not counting 3 when Priest is laying down, and where they're always told like, no, you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to do it. And Triple H after the show talked about it a little bit. Just said it is human error. Stuff happens. Referee's decision final. Move on. But to me, it was like it made no sense to bring Seth Rollins back for that.
no. I also I was kind of disappointed in the whole Intercontinental Championship match with Braun Breaker and Sammy. I mean, I liked how they kind of made Sammy look that he could take on those challenges. I mean, he took on Gunther, he beat Gunther. So, but I just feel like they're really kind of like what you say in the past about Cody Rhodes. Like he could take a Mack truck and still keep going. I mean, there was a couple spots there where like Braun Breaker like really took the match for me, and then Sammy kicked out.
And that's where I think they're somewhat screwing up with Breaker. They should have just had him be that dominant force since the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
He should have taken over Brock Lesnar's role for those kind of matches, went up against Gunther at WrestleMania and beat him. That would have done more for Braun's character than with Sammy. And like right now, for me, Sammy is almost reminding me of like Shawn Michaels back in the mid 90s, where he could just do whatever and he's going to have the belt somehow.
Well, I thought there was an article that came out where Shawn Michaels kind of came very high praise for Sammy out of NXT, and of course with Triple H now being who he is, and I'm sure HBK has some sort of say with all of this too now.
Yeah, that's where I think what they said, Sammy and Kevin Owens, their contracts are coming up end of this year, beginning of next year. Just trying to keep those guys happy, but if they went over to AEW, I don't see them really doing much over there at all.
No, I see probably Kevin Owens taking some time off after this with this contract, especially with everything going on with his mom,
Right.
And just kind of playing the family card. Sammy, I think, is just kind of, I don't know if he's almost burnt out, but like his gimmicks have just been so, he had that whole anti-Sammy campaign gimmick that the whole industry is against him. And I just feel like he's just kind of pulling at straws here and nothing's really working. I mean, even when they put him in the bloodline, I feel like that was kind of a joke.
Well, they'll probably put him back in the bloodline when Roman returns.
That's something else we could talk about.
I mean, because right now you got Solo. I mean, Jacob Fatu, he's going to be the superstar of that group. He just has the natural charisma, the power, the excitement.
Yeah.
I mean, you could see why they waited to bring him in, because he just overshadows the rest of those guys.
Oh yeah, and if you would have had him, I think with Roman Reigns, I think you would have had 2 top tier talent on that roster that would have overshadowed each other.
I just think it's probably about a year until he goes out on his singles competition. You okay, producer?
Yeah. Needed to stretch.
You ain't the cramps.
That's it.
What else was there for Money in the Bank?
I was just looking up the card. So again, you had Drew McIntyre winning the Money in the Bank. Then you had, this doesn't want to show the card correctly. Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker, Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins, and then the women's Money in the Bank, and then Cody versus.
And that's where it's like, I think they're going to start doing more of these lower premium live events overseas or in other countries, just because they're going to have better fan reaction and attendance.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if that Money Bank was in Chicago, you probably would have had dead audience for the most part.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I think the venue played heavily into that one. I mean, I'm actually looking forward, shockingly for the first time in a long time, to a future pay per view if they book it right. I'm looking forward to Bad Blood,
Mm.
but it all depends on how they book it.
They're not going to go the corporate route that they've been doing since the merger. The other thing too that happened was John Cena announced his 2025 to be his last year wrestling.
Yes, so that's gonna be interesting. I think that's gonna, his whole this is gonna be the last time Rumble, last time Mania, last time SummerSlam.
Mm.
Do you think they give him the 17th championship? Because right now he's tied with Flair, correct, at 16.
Yeah, he's tied. I think Orton is one
15.
title away.
Yeah, I thought he was tied with Triple H.
Because I think Triple H was 14. I thought Orton was 15.
Let's look it up here.
Well, I don't think they should. And that's just me.
Because I like with him, he still needs the Intercontinental Championship to be the Grand Slam. He's never held that belt.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could see them trying to kind of cross all those T's before he's gone, but
Yeah, Orton's at 14. Triple H is at 14. Hogan's 12. Lesnar's 10. Rock's 10.
so,
Edge with too many at 11. I mean, yeah, because the feuds I want to see him do. I think he should end his career against Randy.
let Randy become the Legend Killer again.
Let him be the Legend Killer, and that's who he's had the best matches and biggest feuds with. Could have that be going for number 17. Have Randy kind of sneak a win here or there against Cody or Gunther.
Well, I think they're kind of. Oh, you think Gunther's going to take it? Okay.
I'm waiting for Gunther.
I can see them having him go after Cody, just because there's been a lot of screens, like a lot of the way the camera's been capturing Randy, where he is like eyeballing the title, not looking at Cody, looking at the title. So I could see him wanting to cash in, him kind of getting an unhinged moment. And that could be, as I've been pitching for a while, is something to kind of break Cody and kind of make him go into a nightmare scenario. And having someone that he's talked so highly about with Randy Orton kind of turning on him might be that kind of thing that set him on that course.
That's where it's like, I forget who said on off was Waller, Jerry Jarrett. One of them always said, like, it's the biggest draw is the babyface chasing the title, not having the belt, chasing after it. I could have sworn it was one of those guys.
Yeah, but right now, Cody's work, body of work looks like his dad right now.
His body doesn't, but
no, his body of work, right? So it's he's the champion, but he's getting his ass handed to him. You know what I mean? Dusty, right over here on the wall, right? He was that barroom brawler, right? He took shots every week on TV. He got whooped. They come back, he whooped somebody. I mean, he was a fighter. And that's what we're seeing, I think, with Cody right now too, is he's getting beat. He's
against everyone.
It
doesn't matter who. Like, you can put Barry Horowitz out against him.
It's true.
Put the local jobber, it's going to get a close one.
But I mean, you take a look at his merch is still right up there at the top. I mean, he's hot still.
Great with the kids.
He's great with the kids. He's
the corporate guy.
I don't. Even though we'd love
a driving billboard.
Yeah, I mean, even though we'd like to see him go the nightmare, I don't think He won't do it while he's got the title.
Right.
He won't do it while he's got the title.
But that's what I'm saying. I think if, like Tom said, I think if you have Randy sneak one in there and get the title, you know, even if it was the best way to sell it right now would be a triple threat match, and you know, Randy pins somebody else, or have one of those where they collide and Randy's just on top and the shoulders are down and it's a 1, 2, 3 count, and that way it's kind of like, well, it just happened, you know. And then, well, I want my rematch, and that's when Randy kind of goes off on it. But
get the heel Orton again, and
yeah,
head punter.
yes, definitely need the head punter back.
Yeah, and you know, and then that would also then kind of tie in, you know, Cena.
Yep.
Yeah, you can win Rumble or Elimination Chamber, and
have his title shot.
Have a title shot, and win it at WrestleMania.
Now, what do you think? Would you think that would have a draw of on the career, like Cena winning the 17th title, breaking Flair's record, the record that everyone thought was never going to be beaten, or losing to Cena as he wins the 17th? Like, do you think it has, like, do you think it affects Randy in any way if that would happen?
No. Randy's safe. It doesn't matter. I mean, he's won it how many times?
You don't think his image is tarnished?
Well, look at Ric Flair. Well, how many times has he lost it?
Right. Well, 18.
Oh.
Yeah. He's lost it 16 times.
Yeah.
Or the other titles that they're not counting, he's lost it 18, 19 times.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think the only one, here we go, Ken, is now 22 minutes into the show. Brett's the only one that hasn't lost the title more times than he's had it.
Yeah.
Due to injuries or screw jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got LA Knight here.
Yep. No, and I actually, speaking of that, I did like that moment in the ring for Money in the Bank. I'm really shocked how much they advertised main event Jay not winning it. Just because like he was all over the posters. It was kind of very like, hey, he's gonna win it. But having that moment in the ring with LA Knight, Yeet versus Yeah,
Right.
it just kind of, it didn't bring me back to D-Generation X, but it did, where you had all the fans going, or even with Stone Cold with the what. It was refreshing. But I'm very curious to see with this whole Netflix merger, or the Netflix streaming, because they did a lot this week on Raw where the censorship was off. I don't know if it was just the edit I was watching.
They bumped up the pre-recorded crowd noise when Solo came.
They did that, but also with the whole Wyatt 6, when they had Chad in there in the ring, there was, you could hear on USA a lot of you're effed. I don't want to get us in Facebook jail, so I'm gonna kind of watch my language.
We can say we just can't use their actual footage.
Right.
But when they were saying they're like, you're fucked, and there was a lot of times when you were hearing that where I feel like before there was not a chance to hear that.
Yeah, I think it was "Let's Go, Brandon."
Wow.
I don't know. Yeah, and that's the genius of Stephanie and Triple H, right? Is they'll start bleeding those things in, see what they can get away with, and start priming the pump a little bit.
Well, but what are you gonna do? I mean, what's USA gonna do?
Right.
I mean, you're gonna pull the plug on them. They'll go to Netflix sooner.
Right.
But
They're ready.
SmackDown's going USA anyway, so that's pretty much going to be the new Raw anyway.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, but I think I'm hoping to see a little more blood in WWE. Let's get back.
You want more? You want to just bring back Moxley?
Yeah, let's bring back.
We got the Bad Blood pay-per-view coming up, so
Yeah.
I mean,
That was my favorite back in the early '90s or whatever, when they'd have that kind of stuff, those pay-per-views, and they couldn't do blood.
Right.
No cutting, no blading.
yeah, no blading.
Hey,
I call it this, but you can't do it.
I remember watching The Undertaker throw Michaels up on his shoulder and just run his face across the chain link fence in the cage. like a grater.
Mhm.
It was nice.
And I think what was nice back then was you had just the one match for it.
Right.
But now it's, you have to have the men's and the women's.
Yeah.
And it's too much.
Yeah.
You got to pick one or the other.
Nobody wants to see the women's blood.
No.
If you know.
I got a little parrot over my shoulder right now.
Yeah.
Hey, can you hit that light for me? Because I keep trying to block it with my head. It's not really working that well.
It's your halo.
No, but actually, I will say, Tom, doing this podcast has really kind of... That one right there. Come on. No. You failed. There you go. Okay.
All right.
I'll set the mood right a little bit better. Doing this podcast has definitely made it easier for this guy, my Hayden, who I keep blocking right here. He's eating ice cream. He's watching wrestling now again, so it's able to see the next generation kind of watch it and be interactive with it. It's great.
That's where I think where they got to get Cena the title one last time.
Well, and it's funny, like I actually saw him get emotional watching Cena say that statement, because that's who he knew. That was his first. That was kind of the gateway drug of the industry, was Cena for him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The merch, everything. He was all over. That's who he knew as WWE.
That's his version of Hogan for us.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. And John held the torch well.
And he's here today, right? Say next to us. Just
have it here too.
Microphone's not working, but
we'll
work on it next time.
Censor. New studio.
But yeah, I was, like I said, I was disappointed. I would give the pay-per-view on a grading scale, I would give it probably a C+, B- highest.
Yeah, I'd go C-.
I think the post show was better than the actual pay-per-view, the media session. You had Cena take in every single question he could. And he keeps saying, you're done. He's like, no, I got to answer this one. And there's little jabs at some other guys that had it still go on the microphone, but no. It's just, for me, I'm actually kind of shocked how they talk more realistic.
Andre went down.
Oh, he went down. Yeah, how they, in those post-show media, like, they're honest about, like, upfront with most of the stuff.
Yeah.
Like, there's no kayfabe.
No.
They're not doing storyline stuff. It's like, oh, no, it's like they're almost, for most part, normal. You have a few of them where, like, in AEW, like, Tony Storm still does her gimmick. But in WWE, it's like, it seems like most of them, they just break character. It's like, no, that's the real person that now we're talking to.
Well, there was also at the post conference, wasn't that where Drew McIntyre, stormed on the stage, and Bad News Bear had to kind of even take down.
Yeah, that wasn't with the media. That was just still the production side after the show while they're getting ready for the media thing. Because there was like Drew knew exactly where to go. That's the other thing. It's like I hate how they try to make him be an idiot. I just hope that when they first wrestle, whether Shelby Nameless is actually cleared to wrestle for SummerSlam, I don't know, but I wouldn't mind a Goldberg situation there. One kick a little too hard.
Just a quick squash match.
Yep.
Oh.
And then get disqualified afterwards for whooping on him. Because there's no way, we want to look at the realistic of it. Like, he should squash him. There's no reason why Drew cannot squash him. And that was just what was driving me nuts in AEW, where it's like they were making him win all these matches when you could see he's gassed, out of shape, doesn't have it. It's like the younger talent should have been winning those matches easily. And they should have done that reverse Rocky story with them. That would have been a lot better. But I don't know. Their whole booking situation lately has just been questionable. I was like, what? Have you watched Dynamite?
What?
AEW Dynamite. So, like, they started out with Ospreay versus MJF, which should be a pay-per-view match. went over almost an hour. It was like 59 minutes and 40 seconds or something like that.
Wasn't that the match that they were fighting off in the stands and a fan like attacked MJF, pretty much a kid?
This past Wednesday, I don't think so.
There was a match that I got. Someone sent me a link to, and it was a highlight of MJF getting attacked by a fan during a match or something. Let's see if I can find it.
Because he went head to head with a fan the week before, yelling at each other when he turned on Garcia. But for me, like, it was a pretty good match, and that they booked it the wrong way. A, it should have been on pay-per-view. B, they should not have had MJF win.
Yeah, no, it was MJF gets attacked by a little girl in AEW Dynamite 250 tonight, and this was him versus Asuka. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, they're definitely still challenged with their whole booking standpoint of it. They're challenged with that, and again, as we've said on many podcasts, that it's Tony Khan's toy. It's still his. I don't think he knows exactly what he's doing. He's just kind of trying to keep the ship afloat there.
And he's got probably once Brian Danielson retires, make him the GM. Have him be in charge of the booking.
Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I mean, that wouldn't be a bad call to do it.
Because like he's already kind of in charge with the, was it the Kangaroo Court that they have there?
But it'll be too late.
I mean, it's not.
Can the WWE pull out of this slump and blech?
AEW?
Look in the AEW. I don't.
Well, I mean, I don't think there's enough competition yet for like. It's not just two companies right now, but I mean, there's still. I think a lot of people are giving them they're 5 years in. I mean, they're still a young company.
And they had the 2 years of COVID.
Yeah. So I mean, let's say they're 3 years, 4 years out. I just think they need to kind of restructure and can kind of come back and survive. But
so, have you watched any of the on Vice? They're doing the replays on YouTube now. It's the death of WCW.
Yeah, but then that's produced by The Rock, or who killed WWE or WWC or WCW.
So, yeah, but it's a lot of like what I'm seeing right now, Tony Khan's doing.
Yeah,
you're giving the free matches on Dynamite that should be on the pay-per-view. That's where you're going to make your money. Yeah, I mean, you could hook them in with a tease match with that, but then have the finale at the pay-per-view.
Have it break up in a disqualification,
like for like this last Wednesday, for example, with the whole Osprey MJF, they should just let it go to the 60-minute time draw. So the fans then want more, and then they're going to pay for more at the pay-per-view. But and both guys stay strong. You don't weaken any of them. And now it's just a mess.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that for me, it's really hard to watch AEW because the storylines to me are not there.
Right.
Like if I miss a week, not that I feel like I missed a whole bunch, but it can just kind of make a left-hand turn very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a lot to be like, hey, come back and rewatch. It's just kind of, to me, it's just kind of stale. That's what I'm looking for.
I mean, yeah, their whole slogans were the best wrestle, or WCW was, this is where the big boys play. They got to stop taking shots at WWE. They got to be their own brand, act like they don't even exist kind of thing.
That's what I was going to say is that they got to quit taking these pot shots, right? It just, if you take a look at any champion, you take a look at the Bulls,
any brand too,
any brand, right?
Pepsi and Coke.
Yeah, I'm not even going to bring you up.
Right.
We're just going to We're going to do our thing and we're going to do it well.
Right.
You know, you don't see Nike making fun of Adidas or
Right.
something. You know what I mean? It's just like, let's go own it. And I think, you know, that was the beauty of the WCW.
Right.
You know, they did take some shots. They did get some good superstars over, but they were like, we're just going to be a better brand, you know.
There's a couple shots that WCW took. I mean, with like the women's title, you know, having it on their show, her dumping it in the trash.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, there were some shots,
but not as many as Khan takes.
well,
I mean,
Eric-
every time-
no, that's for sure.
What was that?
Bischoff was always calling out Vince to have wrestling matches and
Oh, yeah.
fights and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And doing spoilers. I mean, that's where their demise started.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think you're right. You know, AEW has grown. I mean, they've grown quickly in such a short time.
Right.
I don't know if I want to go to that new you know, studio there. It looks like it's haunted. We got characters falling left.
I know it is. It's awesome. People are
What was
just
that Hogan that just fell over?
Hogan. Just
Hogan. Yeah, we'll talk about Hogan next.
that's right.
Hey.
But you know, they should just put them in their rear view and just go. I mean, because they're following, and I like that their interviews don't seem as scripted as the WWE's. You know, it almost feels like you're listening to a live person. But I think if they were just to put them in their rear view and just go get it.
It's like where Britt Baker came out against Mercedes Moné. Like, she totally squashed Monet on the mic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In Chicago.
Yeah.
Well, then you have also Monet run away from her. Like, I was like, wait a second, what?
Yeah, I mean, it's the back and forth what they're doing. They don't have any. I think what they got to start doing is you could kind of do what WCW did of where, okay, you got, man, Hogan cannot stay up. Give him some Viagra.
The ghost keeps finger flicking him.
But yeah, it's like maybe they got to do the WCW route of like, okay, this is our original crew.
Yep.
And this is our new blood.
Yep.
I mean, I know that whole new blood storyline didn't go great, but correct it. Learn from that.
Yep. Yep.
Here's our outsiders. They're taking our stuff. Like, they're getting our TV time. They're getting our titles.
Yep.
I mean, and that's something where, again, they should do something like that, where you have, you know, kind of the invasion kind of aspect that when ECW came over and WCW came over, you know, you had that where, yeah, you had Booker T versus Austin, Booker T versus The Rock, but he still had to cut his teeth. He still had to grind his teeth and, you know, do that. So
we've said on our last show too, is like the whole rumors of Shane McMahon started talking to people over in AEW.
Right.
Open for him.
Man, the old junkyard dog there.
I mean, that's where, yeah, it's like if you get, I mean, if Daniel Bryan doesn't take over, maybe you just have Shane come and run it.
Yeah, that would be something.
And he's got a good relationship with the old WWE guys that like, hey, come on over.
That's it. Oh, that would be cool.
And I mean, and that would stir the pot, and that would get
still a big Shane O'Mac
up for a
fan.
little bit.
Still a big Shane O'Mac fan. Like that guy.
I mean, yeah, he had the Royal Rumble instance, but whatever.
Yeah.
And then the 2 torn quads later.
Whoops. It was a good jump, though, he had.
a lot of good jumps. But that's the other thing that, I mean, it's weird to say this, but I feel like AEW does not have the iconic match like you have in the WWE. You have Hell in a Cell. You have, you know, they have ladder matches everywhere. They have.
I think they're trying to make blood and guts it, but
I just feel like that would be a good something to kind of make it their own. Like, I mean, even with TNA back in the day when they had the 6-sided ring,
right,
it was something different.
But don't you guys think though, if they were to not focus as much on pay-per-views and go back to old school where it was wrestling, you know, during the week, you know, and maybe and you know what's old is new, and if they had more electrifying, you know, matches during the week for titles and things like that, then maybe people start going, hey, what's going on over here? 10-minute time limits or whatever, you know.
I think they got to go back to the time limits.
Yeah.
I think that's what AEW, when they first had the time limits, that strengthened their watchability, I would say, the ratings and interest.
Well, you also had the standings. I mean, the standings meant something.
Right.
And then they bring.
Now,
Well, now they have that where the Owen Hart tournament actually means something.
Yep.
You get the title shot over at All In Wembley.
Yep.
And then come to Chicago the following week, which I think is just stupid for the All Out pay per view. Like, that to me makes zero sense, though.
That's it.
like I said, I don't follow it right now. There's nothing really that draws me in. Even like some of the older wrestlers that we've talked about in the past that have been on there, it's nice to see them. But I mean, the Hardy Boys look horrible.
They got
Sting
let go.
looked good for a while. Now they're on TNA. But yeah, it's just there's nothing there anymore. I mean, even when they got Monet, it was like they knew it was there. Like WWE at least has a little bit of secretive sometimes, so it's like, oh, is someone gonna show up?
And they've
Like
been a lot better hiding this stuff.
Which is shocking because of like how many of them have social media and how many of them make content outside of WWE. That stuff does get
Leaked.
acted that way. Yeah, but it doesn't get leaked. I mean, so
Because I think like with AEW, they got to go in route of like, okay, they got to actually do a partnership again with TNA and NWA. You make that partnership with NWA, you're now on free TV with their CW deal coming in the fall.
Straight
Get
out
some
of
exposure there. It's like, and you guys could actually do like a more real Forbidden Door pay-per-view. You'll have Moose going against Swerve or something, and I don't know who's in NWA. Is that EC3 still? Whatever. Have him come over and go against Joe Hendry or something. But it's like cross promote where that's the big pay per view of the year. So then you're getting guys telecast on what 4 or 5 different networks.
Yeah, a bunch of different platforms.
And now you're going against the big dog. How did Vince become the big dog? He bought up all the little dogs.
That's right.
And just got bigger and bigger.
He's a hell of a promoter.
Yes.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. I don't know if there's anybody better.
So, yeah. Then what else is going on now? We got SummerSlam around the corner. That's August 3rd in Cleveland.
Yep. In Cleveland Rocks. Do we know the card?
It's the last one night SummerSlam they're going to have. Next year it's going to go to 2 nights.
They just shouldn't. They should just stop that.
It's going to be wrestling fatigue.
They should just stop. It's ridiculous. Do we have the SummerSlam card?
They're so greedy. I had it right here. All right, so I'm showing 8 matches right now.
Right.
Undisputed WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes versus Solo. We see the return of Roman coming. Maybe his music hits. Or Paul Heyman comes out.
I don't know. Because SummerSlam doesn't carry the same. I mean, we talked about this last year too. Doesn't carry the same effect as it used to when we were kids, right, or younger. I think it's the bloodline interferes and Cody wins anyway. Rides off on his white horse.
I think that's it. You'll probably get something with either Heyman or Roman to start the whole Survivor Series War Game feud with Solo's crew. And yeah, Roman.
I could see maybe not Roman coming back, but I could see Jimmy coming back, and kind of causing that. They got to first rekindle them and Jay. The Usos have to be under one umbrella again, which I don't know if I really want because I kind of like Jay being main event Jay.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just killing Jimmy. No one cares.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is that he's off TV for too long, and I mean it's unless he comes back with one of the other Fatus. So.
And then the other matches for World Heavyweight Championship: Gunther versus Damian Priest. Maybe have to have Gunther win it. Priest has not been looking good as a champion.
Yeah.
Too many botches, getting hurt.
Yeah.
Like they gotta pull the plug on it.
Yeah. And Gunther's back with whatever, right? I mean, he's focused. I think you give it to Gunther.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like he didn't come out when he came out on, was it Raw with the Imperial? He kind of just came out by himself. So I mean, like, it could be a way to kind of establish him as
I thought they
Gunther's
broke
who
up
he was.
a month ago.
Well, they did the whole storyline where they thought they broke up, but then that's when he attacked the other member and was like, "I did that," and he's like, and then Gunther smiled. So they never really officially called it the breakup. But yeah, I mean, I could see him standing on his own 2 feet, and that kind of, I can see also that being the final nail in the coffin, where maybe you have Finn Balor come out and try to help, and it costs Damian the match, and that kind of puts that final nail in that coffin. Because I mean that's clearly on its way out, but we keep going about SummerSlam.
Well, because I could also go and set up them Priest versus Balor or Demon Balor for Bad Blood.
With for the title or just
Just a
as a
match.
match?
As a match.
Yeah, I definitely think that needs to happen.
We got the Women's Raw Championship. Liv versus Mommy's back. They're doing a whole Eddie Guerrero China storyline from 20 years ago.
Mm.
Okay.
It's almost
One way to get China to be talked about on Raw.
I don't know. For me, like, if this is the best thing that Raw's been producing all summer, it's not good.
No.
Yeah, I don't like the whole, like, I'm a fan of Liv Morgan, in more ways than one. With her, she used to be very good on the mic. I liked her in Riot Squad, but I just don't like the fact of, like, she's running away from Rita.
Right.
Like, I don't like that. Like, it's just like, you're kind of making the title look weak. You're kind of making, like, you just gave it to somebody just to give it to somebody, which is what a lot of people thought when she took it from Becky. So
Well, that's where they wanted her to beat Becky to make her look stronger, and it's just.
but then now you're doing the complete opposite when faced with Rhea.
So I think Dom costs Rhea and helps Liv, and Liv
Dirty
retains. You got Bo Dallas versus Chad Gable, the Wyatt Six, where I think I'm already sick of them.
How do you really feel?
I don't know. Some of it's okay and cool, but then like what they did last week, where having Bo just come out as himself, getting his butt whooped and laughing in the middle of the ring, just like the audience was dead. They didn't care.
No, they didn't care until the music dropped and the lights flickered, and
that's going to be your best part of it anyway. And
but did Bray really have? I mean, a lot of the memories that I have aren't really the matches; it's the gimmick.
it's the gimmick, it's the storyline, it's the talking, the promos.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's made some good promos for sure.
I mean, he was a good wrestler too. I mean, he did that. What was it? The reverse bridge, crab walk, whatever it was. Like his agility. But then, like, there's stuff where he is outside the box way too much or ahead of his time with, like, the locusts in the ring from the 3D video display. And they constantly, like, stop the match to show the overhead view of that to try and make it different.
Yeah.
I mean, the pitch black match was cool for maybe 2 minutes and then, like, get this over with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sick of the Wyatt Six yet. They're definitely, the whole bleed over though with Pat McAfee. It's kind of interesting because I think it's trying to gather a new fan base, audience. So that's interesting. But then it's like they don't tell you you have to wait to see it on Raw, but that's how it's kind of played out now, where it's like Pat brought the video to Raw, and it was like, okay, well, you know, he didn't. He had to kind of wait to see it, but it was just like you had to just be there. So you're not really bringing fans over. You're just kind of like, okay, hey, this is cool. Okay, that's kind of weird, but there's no context to it.
So then we got the other women's title match for SmackDown: Bayley versus Nia Jax. Queen Nia, probably be nepotism at its finest.
I would love to see Nia win it, and Tiffy Time cash in on Nia because you've stopped her from cashing in already.
Right, and that's where it's like it'll be nice if she does it right away, but I could see them constantly doing the tease for it.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they might not want the long, drawn out Money in the Bank cash ins this time around because I feel like it went pretty long last summer or last year. I mean, it almost went the full. I mean, it went all the way to WrestleMania, so that's almost a full year.
Right.
Yeah, but if you do it right, I mean, you know, you break your music in all the time just to confuse people.
Right.
I mean, you know, if it's done right.
And that's what bothered me with the whole Drew thing when he cashed in. It's like the match wasn't even over yet.
Yeah, right.
And it's like neither guy is down. Like it made no sense for when he did it. Just horrible. Intercontinental Championship match: Zayn, Breaker, and Dragunov.
So is that where Braun's getting it?
That's probably where Braun will finally get his due.
Yeah, will it be his pin or will it be?
You probably pin Dragunov or something.
Yeah.
That's the one I see getting pinned. Yeah, I don't see it being Sammy. I see them saving Sammy and him getting his rematch.
And then United States, Logan Paul versus LA Knight. That's where it kind of bothered me with the whole Money in the Bank thing. You knew LA Knight wasn't going to win because it wouldn't make any sense for him to win the Money in the Bank contract and then go face Logan at SummerSlam. You already knew that match was full on, headed for August 3rd. I mean, this is what Logan's third title defense since having the belt.
Yeah.
250 days. He's defending it less than Roman.
Yeah.
I was actually trying to do that math in my head. I'm glad you had that ready, Tom.
Yeah. But is he still a fan favorite or does he bring in views, Logan?
Right now, he's got that issue I saw with the Olympics today.
Well, I didn't see that.
So apparently, Prime is getting sued for copyright infringement with the Olympics. I don't know if they used their logo.
Oh, really?
I didn't read the story yet, but I just saw the headline. I think it's not actually on my way in here.
Oops. Whoopsie.
So he's going to need the money.
Another one down. Another one down.
Because now it's all.
Told you, I'm not going to that. No. Keep sending me this link. I'm doing it from right here, man. That place is haunted.
Yeah, wait till those little crooks.
So you go in the wrong door, you're locked in there. You can't get out.
Screwed, man. You're screwed.
Yeah. I've had enough of them doors shut behind me working what I do, so.
That's awesome.
So the rumor right now is going to be Drew versus Pepsi Boy with Seth Rollins as a special guest referee, saying that Pepsi Boy gets cleared. I think they should just make it a
nicknames on this show.
They should just make it a triple threat. That's why you protect most of you protect Rollins and Pepsi Boy.
Right.
Yeah, but now, I mean, the way you could, play this out afterwards is you either have Seth have a fast count and, gets in the feud with the Weenus of WWE, or
doing. They're going to set that up for WrestleMania next year.
Yeah.
Because it didn't get this year.
Or you have it where Seth has a fast count on Drew and it starts that feud. Because, clearly Drew is re-signed.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, because that was the last, So do you let him kind of have this feud, go one more time berserk, where they have to kind of suspend him indefinitely, give him his vacation with family, and then comes back at a future pay-per-view or premium event and kind of just is reestablished.
Come back at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, come back as a Royal Rumble, come back as 25. Or you even save him, I hate to say this, for Clash at the Castle next year.
Or he loses again.
I mean, or that's the third time's the charm, and he finally wins it. Again, I have no betting interest in any of these guys no more, and that's kind of lack of storyline, and
they're all the same.
So are you guys putting your titles on the line? SummerSlam?
We're supposed to. Who are we fighting against?
Doesn't matter. Honest to God, I mean, Alex's son beat him last.
I mean, hey, how many matches are there?
Bukar.
Right?
Well, Papa Shango's going down now.
Yeah, everybody, man. You
You're
got
taking them all down, man. Either that haunted or that table's not level. I mean, either way, it's not in my contract, Tom.
Balls on it, so that's where it's not.
I mean,
I'm
not gonna try to pull the MJF here, but I mean, it's not in my contract. I mean, the table should be level. I mean, I don't want to bring my title to somewhere that's could get ransacked by the rejects.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, they have to show up too.
You can hang them in the cell over at the new studio.
Hey,
there we could do a Hell in the Cell.
Yeah, we'll defend them, whatever.
Yeah, because we're on, right? I mean, it's on. SummerSlam is Saturday the 3rd.
Saturday the 3rd, so 2 weeks.
Yeah, so we're on right after the next day from the new studio.
Right. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Get the water working.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to
get that fixed. I know a good plumber.
And what was the other thing? There was the so this week at the RNC, the guy to start off the show gives us a nice shout out. First words.
Let me tell you something, brother.
The Hulkster.
I mean, that was hilarious that they gave him a Titantron intro.
Yeah.
That, like, the time, like how much time they gave him too.
Yeah, I was just I was really blown away.
I was ready for him to say the wrong city or stadium.
I was waiting for that too. I was just waiting for someone to kind of him just to body slam somebody. So I just someone just get out of line and him just body slam him.
Here's the greatest thing was this, right? So he gets up there and he does a great job, right? Hulk rips the shirt off.
Pure 80s promo.
Oh, pure 80s promo. And then later in the night, I don't know if you guys caught it.
During
Trump,
the hour and a half speech.
Trump was like, he was like,
thanking everyone.
And my guy, I mean, come on, he would bench press 350-pound guys up over his head and throw him into the third row. I'm like, when did he ever do that?
Yeah.
But then they show Hulk. And he's got his
blazer.
He's got a blazer.
The red bandana and a Trump Vance shirt.
Over the Trump Vance shirt. And I just start cracking up. I'm like, why would you put on a blazer after that? It was awesome. It was awesome.
I am tempted to start making the Trumpomania shirts and
Trumpomania. That's
making a big graphic of Trump being shot, or
that's funny.
Put him over the old Hulk Hogan.
A little. I'm surprised he didn't get Tyson with the little piece of his ear gone.
And that's where it's like they get Hogan. And I'm like, you're getting a guy that's been blackballed from the wrestling community.
Tell you what.
Well, I mean, look at Trump. I mean, Trump's got his ties with the WWE.
He does.
I just thought it was really funny that there was a couple things that you don't have Hulk do. And to me, after Trump was shot and has all this footage of his ear being covered up, you have Hogan do the whole, like, to that same side where he's just like, okay, really? Come on.
I know. It was great.
Why is it why?
I don't
Like,
know.
what is wrong with our country?
That's just a little.
I mean, it's Idiocracy. Have you ever seen the movie, man? That's exactly
Yes.
what it is. And you have Terry Crews going around still as president right now, driving around.
And then Dana White comes up.
Oh yeah, Dana White too.
Boy.
Well, because Linda McMahon was on Trump's board during the last presidential run, so
yeah.
she'll probably be back.
Board of
on there
Education or something weird. Like
Something.
Yeah, she spoke. I mean, there was again, it got a lot of clickbait. It got a lot of things on there, and it was just very interesting how much of that was related to pop culture.
Yeah.
You know, TKO definitely had its presence there, which I thought was very interesting.
Yeah, like Kid Rock doing his
Oh,
song,
my God.
and I'm just like, where are we?
Kid Rock's song was great because like he wasn't moving his mouth, but the words were still
Yeah.
It was a bad lip sync.
Yeah. Like my friends and family already text me, "Oh, Hogan's on. Are you watching? You're watching?" I'm like, unfortunately, yes.
Yes.
Because I have to, and
Right. Yes.
I want to see this for whatever bad reason. But
Right. Let me make a very well informed bad decision.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Hey, we're right at the end of this thing. What do we got? Last parting shots. Big shout out to Tom's Productions, of course. If you can think it, he'll ink it. Just don't change your store. That's all. That's it.
Items on your store.
That's right. Yeah. Hey, we'll be back in 2 weeks. We'll talk to the rejects. We'll find out who's going up against you in the squared circle for the tag team champions. And then we will,
Do they even have shows anymore?
I don't
No.
it's weird. Yeah.
Well, they clearly do because we got put in Facebook jail because of them. So.
That's right. That's right. That's a
So
good
they're
point.
clearly someone's at least logging in.
That's right. Good point. And I don't know, maybe it'll be Joe Madness you'll go up against. Who knows? But
Ooh.
I mean, normally we get at least one or two comments or questions from them on this, but we got nothing today.
yeah, well, they're probably in Facebook jail. They are. But yeah, hey, good stuff as always, guys. Stick around. You know what? Come back on the 3rd, right after SummerSlam. Also see the new digs. I think it'll be good. So for all of us here at 216 Creator Studios, for the crew at Let Me Tell You Something, Brother. We'll see you.
You can't see.